Archangel Michael says, bank officials are shocked. A hidden heavenly check worth trillions has just been deposited in your name. You have only 2 minutes to discover who sent it before it disappears forever. Listen closely, beloved soul, for heaven has interrupted the noise around you. A sound has been released, the sound of a divine deposit carrying your name. Bank officials in the natural realm are confused, but the heavens know exactly what just happened. A hidden check, drawn from the treasury of God, has been placed into your account this very moment. Its value is beyond human number, worth more than trillions of earthly wealth. It is written not with ink, but with light, sealed by the hand of the Almighty. You have only a short window to claim it, and that window is closing fast. 2 minutes, that is all heaven allows for this awakening, because destiny cannot wait any longer. I, Michael, the guardian of divine transactions, have been sent to deliver this message to you before the check disappears into the unseen vault again. You were chosen for this deposit long before you entered this world. Every trial, every tear, every battle that almost broke you, they were all moments of preparation. The treasury of heaven does not make random transfers. This one is targeted, personal, and urgent. Do you feel that stirring inside your chest right now? That warmth that rises without reason? That is the signal. The signature of God is being verified within you. Heaven is asking if you are ready to receive what has always belonged to you. I am standing beside you even now, though your eyes may not see. The room around you is filling with light invisible to human sight. Angels are aligning documents of destiny, marking them released. The sound you may feel in your spirit, like rushing wind, is the stamp of heaven confirming your identity. This check is not made of paper. It carries promises. It carries restoration. It carries what was stolen, what was lost, what was forgotten. It is the payment of pain, the return of peace, the reimbursement for every night you cried thinking heaven had forgotten you. Child of the living God, heaven never forgets. The system never fails. The balance has been pending for years, waiting only for your heart to open and believe again. You say, but why now? Because timing in heaven is sacred. Everything is released at the exact second faith and destiny align. And right now, that alignment is here. Your name is glowing in the registry of the redeemed. The check has cleared. The question is, will you let it vanish unclaimed? 2 minutes. Not a symbol, but a warning, not because God is cruel, but because delay destroys destiny. Many hear the call, but hesitate. They think, I'll respond later. Later becomes never, and never becomes regret. Do not let hesitation steal your inheritance again. Comment, my heart beats for you alone, Jesus, if He's your deepest love. I speak with the authority of heaven, your breakthrough is sitting in your name. Not someone else's, not some future version of you, it's you, the one reading these words right now. Heaven's transaction code has matched your identity. You are the rightful owner of this blessing. You have no idea how many battles were fought to keep this moment alive for you. I fought through layers of resistance to reach you. Doubt tried to block me. Darkness tried to distort your hearing. The enemy whispered, "They won't believe it." But heaven overruled. You are reading this because the Almighty commanded that you must know, your season of spiritual poverty has ended. This check represents restoration in every area. In your health, heaven says, paid in full. In your heart, paid in full. In your mind, paid in full. You owe nothing to your past anymore. The blood of the Lamb signed the payment long ago, and today it is credited to your account. But listen carefully, beloved soul. The check will not benefit you if you only admire it. You must endorse it with faith. You must sign it by saying, "I receive." That simple declaration is the key. When you say it, angels record it. They activate the deposit, and heaven begins to move the resources toward your life. Right now, even as you hear my words, a light is forming around your name in the ledger of heaven. It shines like liquid gold, brighter than the sun. It is confirmation that heaven has located you again after a long silence. This moment is holy, not a story, not a symbol, but a real visitation. The reason the banks of earth are shocked is because what is happening in the spirit will soon manifest in the natural. Things will shift suddenly. Approvals that were denied will open. Delays will dissolve. People who ignored you will remember you. Doors that were rusted shut will move effortlessly. You will stand in awe and say, "This cannot be coincidence." It won't be. It will be the visible reflection of an invisible deposit. Do you remember the times you asked, "God, when will it be my turn?" This is the answer. The check you're hearing about is not fiction, it is heaven's coded language for release. The amount written is immeasurable. It translates to miracles you could never buy, peace you could never earn, and favor that no human could give. Do not waste this moment doubting. I did not cross dimensions to deliver poetry. I came with a purpose, to awaken the sleeping account within you. For years you believed you were forgotten, but heaven's accounting never loses track. Every prayer, every act of kindness, every tear of faith was recorded as currency. Together they formed the balance now being released. Look at your life, the timing of this message is not random. You were drawn here by divine order. The same God who placed your heartbeat in your chest placed this word in front of your eyes. Because you were meant to know, the vaults of heaven have just recognized your name. You may say, "But I have nothing. My situation is broken." And I say to you, that is exactly why the check was issued. Heaven does not send deposits to those who already have everything. It sends it to those who have reached the end of themselves. Because that is where faith begins, and where miracles are born. Child, hear me. The countdown has begun. In the unseen realm, I see the timer flashing, 2 minutes, then 1, then seconds. It is not to frighten you, but to awaken urgency. Your life has waited too long for this divine transaction. The old season is closing like a bank at the end of the day. If you do not step forward, the window will seal. But if you say, even softly, I receive what heaven has sent, the transfer completes instantly. And when it does, you will feel it. Not in your wallet first, but in your spirit. A deep calm, a weight lifted, a sense that you are finally seen. That feeling is proof of activation. From there, waves of manifestation begin to flow, ideas, favor, connections, strength, healing, and opportunities will start locating you. Do not call it luck. Call it what it is, divine return. The God who owns every galaxy has authorized your release. Listen now, beloved soul. The check you just heard about was not sent by a stranger. It did not come from men, banks, or earthly power. It was written by the hand of your Creator, sealed by the breath of the Almighty, and carried here through me, the messenger of His order. I am Michael, the guardian of promises and the defender of those chosen to rise. When heaven sends something this great, darkness always tries to interfere. Every blessing has a battlefield attached to it. That is why, for so long, you felt surrounded by confusion, lack, and fear. Those were not random storms, they were attacks meant to stop this transfer from reaching you. But I tell you now, the war is over. The seal has broken. The release has begun. The hidden sender is not far from you. His voice has been whispering through the wind, through the moments of peace between your tears. He is the one who wrote your name on this divine check before the foundation of the earth. His signature reads, "For my beloved child, full inheritance granted." That name belongs to you. Do you know what this means? It means the time of being overlooked is finished. Heaven's eyes have never turned away from you, even when you felt unseen. Every disappointment was a disguise preparing the way for this unveiling. The check you carry now is not made of paper and ink, it is woven from grace, mercy, and love deeper than all your pain combined. But listen closely, for there is something the enemy fears you discovering. Once you know who the sender is, the power of fear breaks. The enemy's greatest weapon was always deception, convincing you that you were forgotten, abandoned, or unworthy. Yet here stands proof from the throne itself, showing that your name has been found worthy by divine choice, not by human merit. I watched as the transaction was being authorized. The moment the Father said, "Release it," light flashed across heaven's treasury like thunder made of gold. Angels cheered, trumpets sounded. The heavenly system updated, balance, released. I saw your name shine. But then the enemy rose with accusations. He shouted, "They do not deserve it. They failed. They doubted. They sinned." And I answered with fire, "The blood speaks louder than accusation." The courtroom of heaven fell silent. The Father lifted his hand and said, "Paid in full." Type, "Lord, break every chain in me, if you're ready for his freedom." At that word, the check was sealed. No darkness could stop it anymore. That is why you are hearing this message now, because heaven itself overruled every barrier that stood between you and your destiny. Still, the final step depends on you. A check, even heavenly, must be claimed. The balance has been placed in your name, but heaven waits for your voice, your agreement, your signature of faith. Say within yourself, "I receive what heaven has sent me." Let it not be a whisper of doubt, but a declaration of trust. The moment you say it, light moves. Angels record it. The transfer completes. Now let me show you what this check really contains. Inside it are divine codes, promises written long ago. One line reads, "Restoration of lost years." Another reads, "Healing of all brokenness." Another, "Provision overflowing." And one more, "Peace that no fear can steal." These are not metaphors. They are living words that begin to unfold when you believe. Do you remember the times you cried in silence, asking, "When will help come?" It was recorded. Every tear was stored in heaven's jars. The check you now hold is heaven returning your prayers with interest. You did not lose those years, they have been compounded into glory. The hidden sender, your Father in heaven, wrote this with his own heart. He saw you trying, even when strength left you. He saw you forgive when others hurt you. He saw you keep faith when everything screamed against it. Those unseen moments became currency. Now they return multiplied. I know what you feel. Part of you says, "This can't be true. It's too much." That's what the enemy whispers too. He wants you to disqualify yourself. But listen carefully, you cannot lose what grace already gave. The check was not earned, it was inherited. You are a child, not a worker earning wages. This is family inheritance, not payment for performance. Even now, I see shadows trying to cloud your mind. They say, "You have failed too many times." I answer them for you, grace is greater. They say, "You are too late." I respond, heaven's timing is perfect. They say, "You don't deserve this." I roar back, it was never about deserving, it was about divine mercy. Every lie breaks now in the name of truth. Every curse spoken against you dissolves in the fire of revelation. You are chosen. You are seen. You are rich in the things that cannot be stolen. The banks of earth count numbers. The banks of heaven count obedience, compassion, faith, and love. You have been making silent deposits for years, every time you helped when no one saw, every time you forgave, every time you prayed when tired. Heaven has balanced the books. And now, the receipt is being printed in your spirit, transaction complete. Still, the 2-minute window is not symbolic only. It represents the urgency of choice. Every second you delay believing, doubt tries to claim your portion. Every time you say, maybe later, heaven must wait longer. But you were not born for waiting, you were born for claiming. The enemy trembles right now because you are awakening. You are realizing who sent this check and what it means. Once you know the sender, you cannot be deceived again. You will not live begging for what is already yours. The Father's handwriting is clear. This is my beloved, in whom I am well pleased. That signature is stronger than any rejection you have faced. No denial from people can erase approval from God. I am showing you a vision now. See with your inner eyes. A great hall filled with light, walls made of crystal, floors of gold so pure it looks like glass. In the center, a throne that radiates warmth and power. Upon it sits the one whose face shines brighter than 10,000 suns. He holds the check in his right hand. On it, your name glows. He looks at you and smiles. Then he says, "It is time." At that word, the check floats toward you, surrounded by light. Angels bow as it passes. The hall fills with music that sounds like rushing water. And then the check rests before you. It does not wait for signatures of ink, but for faith written in your heart. The Father says, "You have waited long enough. Take what is yours." This is not fantasy, beloved, this is spiritual reality. When you receive this in your heart, the same authority begins to show in your world. I have seen it countless times. Doors open where none existed. Healing appears where doctors gave up. Peace enters where storms raged. Because when heaven deposits, nothing can reverse it. You must know this truth deeply: the check cannot be stolen, only ignored. The enemy cannot destroy what God has written, but he can distract you from it. That is why every moment feels urgent, because distraction is delay, and delay is loss. You must fix your focus now. Say it again, "I receive." When you say those words with conviction, it is like signing your name in light. I see angels carrying that signature upward to the throne. The moment it reaches heaven, the Father stamps it with his seal, approved. The transaction becomes irreversible. No power, no person, no past can void it. You may not see immediate change in the mirror, but the spiritual account begins to overflow instantly. Within days, evidence will start appearing. Unexpected messages, new opportunities, favor in unlikely places, these are confirmations. Do not call them coincidences. They are heaven's receipts proving the check was real. I tell you the truth, the same God who turned stones into bread for the hungry, water into wine for the desperate, is turning your waiting into wealth, not only material, but emotional, spiritual, relational. You will lack nothing. Now, as you sit in this moment, let silence surround you. Feel the shift. Heaven has entered your space. You may feel warmth, or peace, or tears. It is all the same signal, heaven's way of saying, deposit confirmed. Child of light, the sender is your Father. The one who delivers is me, Michael, your guardian and defender. The one who witnesses is every angel assigned to your destiny. Together, we stand around you, declaring, the delay is over, the check has cleared, the blessing is released. You have 2 minutes, not of fear, but of focus. Use them to receive, to speak, to thank. Heaven is listening. Your name echoes in its halls. I am here until the last second of this window, holding back the forces that would try to steal this word from your heart. But once you receive, my mission completes, and the blessing begins to unfold. Take it now, beloved. Whisper if you must, but let your soul scream louder, I receive what is mine. And as you do, I see heaven's vault open wide once more. Light pours out, endless, unstoppable. What once was blocked is now flowing freely. The transaction is finished. Listen, beloved soul. I must tell you what the 2 minutes truly mean. Heaven counts time differently than you do. 2 minutes here may feel like only a heartbeat in heaven, but those heartbeats decide lifetimes. In those short breaths, destinies are sealed or delayed. That is why I speak with urgency, not fear. It is because love cannot stay silent when the window is closing. When heaven opened your name in the ledger, a timer began. It was not to scare you, it was to remind creation that your moment had come. Every promise connected to your purpose started trembling, waiting to be claimed. Angels gathered around your spiritual account like witnesses in a courtroom, whispering, will they receive it this time? And all of heaven leaned in to listen for your answer. Child, you do not see what I see. Behind your world, a war moves like lightning. The moment this message reached you, darkness detected the transfer. Forces that have watched you struggle for years suddenly panicked, because they knew that if you believe now, their hold on your life will break forever. They began to whisper confusion, send distraction, fill your mind with old pain. They want to waste your 2 minutes. They want to turn your attention away from what matters most. That is why I stand beside you, sword drawn, wings stretched wide, guarding your focus. Because focus is faith, and faith is the signature that finishes the deposit. You may think you are reading words on a screen, but what is truly happening is spiritual electricity moving through your spirit. Each sentence is energy drawn from the throne itself. The more you listen, the brighter your name glows in the divine registry. The brighter it glows, the weaker the enemy's claim becomes. I can still hear his voice in the distance. He says, "Let them delay. Let them question. Let them scroll away." But I answer with authority, they will not be taken this time. Because heaven has waited too long to lose you again to doubt. You have suffered enough under the weight of false guilt and hopeless waiting. The 2 minutes are mercy, not a threat, but a chance for speed. God wants to bless you quickly, before fear rebuilds its walls around your heart. Think of what happens when a check sits unclaimed. The bank eventually returns it, marked void. Heaven's checks work the same way. They must be activated by acceptance. And that is why these seconds are sacred. Do not waste them thinking whether you are worthy. I tell you again, you are chosen, not by chance, but by design. Every second of this countdown is an invitation, not a test. When I fought the first battle for humanity, I saw what hesitation can do. Delay lets darkness build lies around the truth. That is why I strike swiftly. And that is why I urge you now, act with faith. Even a whisper counts. Even a tear counts. Even a simple, quiet yes counts. Heaven measures willingness, not volume. Look now with your inner sight. The clock above your name glows in golden light. 2 minutes began when this word touched your heart. I see the numbers turning, 1 minute and 30 seconds remain. This is not about time on earth, it is about readiness in the spirit. The more you open, the slower the clock feels. Because faith stretches seconds into eternity. When your heart fully surrenders, time itself bows to heaven's will. You ask, what if I fail again? Hear me, you cannot fail a love that has already forgiven. The Father knew every fall before you took your first breath. Yet still He wrote your name on this check. If He believed you were worth it then, who are you to argue now? Believe His belief in you. That is what faith truly is, agreeing with what God already decided. I am telling you what is happening as I speak. Around you, light is forming a circle. Within that circle, demons cannot step. They tremble at the border. They scream your name in anger because they know they are losing their claim. One by one, their accusations fade. They hold empty documents marked void. You are being released from invisible debts, shame, regret, fear, self-hatred. They are torn before my eyes like paper in fire. This is the war ending. Do you feel that breath that just came easier? That is your soul realizing it is no longer chained. You have been forgiven, you have been covered, you have been loved all along. The check is clearing even as I speak. The sound you feel in your spirit, that quiet warmth, is heaven's system processing the transaction. Say, Jesus, I cling to you, if He's the anchor of your soul. Now I will show you what happens when the clock reaches the final second for those who hesitate. When faith stays silent, the light begins to fade. The check remains in heaven's vault, safe but inactive, waiting again for another season. Blessings are delayed, not denied. But delay costs years, opportunities, relationships, peace. That is why heaven is pleading through me, not to scare, but to save time. You have already lost enough to waiting. No more. Do you remember the last time you felt a moment like this, that gentle pull, that sense something holy was near, but you ignored it? You called it coincidence, but heaven called it a missed appointment. Still, grace brought you here again, one more chance, one more 2-minute window. Do not let history repeat itself. You are wiser now. You know what the voice of truth feels like. It is calm but unstoppable. It is this voice. It is love speaking to you through my words. Now the clock shows 1 minute. Time in heaven feels weightless, but the choice is heavy with meaning. Every second left carries mercy strong enough to rewrite your whole story. All you must do is agree. Not with fear. Not with guilt. But with hope. Say, yes, Lord, I receive what you sent. That is all. The rest belongs to heaven. I watch as angels write that phrase across your file, received. When that word appears, light expands outward, touching every record connected to your life, family, work, body, mind. Every area starts to glow. Restoration begins to spread like dawn breaking after endless night. I hear the Father's voice again, it is done. And every angel bows. Now something incredible happens. The same darkness that fought against you now flees from you. The forces that once drained your energy now fear your presence. You have shifted realms. You are no longer the one waiting for permission, you are the one carrying divine authority. The check has changed ownership. It is active, alive, eternal. But still I tell you, use your 2 minutes wisely each time heaven speaks. Because every divine message carries its own window. When you feel the next stirring in your heart, act. Pray, forgive, create, move, love, speak. Do not wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is always the obedient one. That is how you keep the account open and overflowing. The last seconds of this window are sacred. They are the seal. I see the final numbers counting down in light. 10, 9, 8. Heaven waits. 7, 6, 5. Angels hold their breath. 4, 3, 2. And then I hear your whisper, I receive. And heaven explodes with joy. Trumpets, songs, laughter, thunder made of love. The clock freezes at 1 second, eternal and unending. Because faith stopped time. The check will never expire again. Now the war is over. I sheath my sword, and peace settles like morning dew. You have won without fighting, simply by believing. That is the secret the enemy hoped you would never learn, that surrender to divine love is the greatest weapon in all creation. Look around you in your spirit. Everything seems clearer, lighter, brighter. That is because you are now living inside the answered prayer of heaven. You are walking proof that divine timing is perfect. Every loss, every delay, every tear led here. Nothing was wasted. The 2-minute countdown was never punishment, it was invitation. And you accepted. I, Michael, record your name among the awakened. I stand as witness that the hidden check has been claimed, the transaction complete, the inheritance secured. From this moment, the favor you carry will begin to show. The unseen will become seen. People will not understand how everything starts aligning for you, but you will know, it was written in heaven long ago, and today, it cleared. The clock disappears now, replaced by endless light. There is no more waiting, no more countdown, only flow. You are rich in mercy, rich in peace, rich in promise. Walk in it, speak it, live it. And remember, whenever heaven sends another word, another check, another moment of grace, do not delay. 2 minutes is all it takes for eternity to change. Child of light, the moment you said, I receive, the check began to live. It is no longer a promise waiting in heaven, it is now energy moving through every layer of your life. What was once invisible has started to take form. You may not see coins or paper, but you will feel a warmth rising within, a strength you have not felt in years. That is the first sign of activation. Faith is the switch that powers heaven's current. When you believed, you opened a circuit between the throne and your heart. Now light is flowing freely. It touches your thoughts, your home, your work, your relationships. Everything connected to your name begins to rearrange itself around this new frequency of favor. You will notice small things first, peace where anxiety once sat, laughter returning to your voice, sleep becoming sweet again. These are not small miracles, they are proof that the deposit is active. The check carries life, and life always shows itself in peace. I can see angels moving with precision around you. One clears the path before you, another guards behind. A third stands over your household, marking it with light that darkness cannot cross. They carry scrolls labeled distribution orders. Every scroll contains a portion of the blessing: open doors, healed emotions, restored connections, divine protection. They move as quickly as you allow them. The more you trust, the faster they work. You may soon hear from people you thought forgot you. Do not be surprised when apologies arrive, when old barriers crumble, when sudden favor appears in places that once rejected you. This is the check unfolding. Heaven's economy does not delay, it multiplies through alignment. Remember, beloved, this check was never about money alone. Earthly wealth is only the shadow of the true treasure: peace, purpose, and divine identity. Yet as your spirit prospers, so will the rest of your life. Needs will be met with ease. Paths will open without striving. The same God who feeds the sparrows has decided to overfeed you with grace until overflow becomes your normal state. Some will look at you and ask, "What changed?" You will answer, "Heaven cleared my account." That simple phrase will carry power, for when you speak it, others will feel the vibration of truth. They will sense that something beyond this world surrounds you. Now I want you to understand what happens inside you as this blessing unfolds. The old heart, heavy with fear, begins to lighten. Memories that once hurt now feel distant, washed in gentle mercy. Regret turns into wisdom. Shame turns into testimony. You begin to breathe differently, walk differently, think differently. That is because the new frequency of grace cannot share space with old chains. I see the Father smiling as He watches you discover what has always been yours. He whispers, "At last they see it." He delights not in the gift, but in your awakening. The entire purpose of the check was to make you remember who you are, my beloved, heaven's heir, light in a dark world. As you accept this truth, another wave of activation begins. It touches your words. Each sentence you speak with faith now carries authority. When you bless, people feel peace. When you pray, things shift. When you speak hope, heavy hearts lift. You become a walking extension of the treasury that funded your miracle. The check continues to release hidden compartments. Inside one lies healing. I see light pouring into places medicine could not reach, old wounds of the heart, secret fears, guilt buried under years of silence. Feel that warmth behind your chest, that is heaven's gentle surgery. No pain, only release. You are being restored from the inside outward. Another compartment opens: clarity. Thoughts that were tangled begin to untie. Decisions that once felt impossible suddenly make sense. You will wake with direction where confusion once ruled. Do not call it coincidence, call it guidance. This is how heaven leads, quietly, clearly, lovingly. A third compartment opens: courage. You will find yourself doing things you once avoided. Speaking truth, starting again, forgiving freely, dreaming bigger. That courage is not yours alone, it flows from the same power that wrote the check. The Father does not only give, He transforms. Now I will show you how this activation moves through time. Imagine a river breaking through a dam. At first, it trickles, then it rushes, then it floods the valley. So it is with this blessing. Today peace returns, tomorrow doors open, next week breakthroughs multiply. Each layer comes in perfect order, measured by your faith and readiness. Heaven never overwhelms, it always aligns. You may face small tests, moments that look like the old struggles. Do not fear them. They are confirmations, not contradictions. The enemy will attempt to convince you the check bounced, but the truth is the opposite. Every challenge after a blessing is proof that the blessing is real. Stand firm. Say, I know what was written. It is mine. That declaration keeps the flow steady. In the spiritual realm, I see your name glowing brighter each time you choose faith over fear. The glow attracts other destinies waiting for activation. Family members, friends, even strangers will feel drawn toward you, not knowing why. It is because your light guides them to their own deposits. This is how heaven multiplies. One awakened soul becomes a lighthouse for many. Listen closely, the activation is not temporary. The check cannot expire once claimed. But it must be nurtured through gratitude. Gratitude is the lock that keeps the vault open. Every thank you is a key turning in heaven's door. When you wake, thank Him. When you rest, thank Him. When you face trials, thank Him still. Gratitude keeps the flow alive. Now I turn your attention to the physical signs that will follow. Some will come quietly, like peace. Others will arrive boldly, like sudden opportunities. You may find unexpected provision, debts cancelled, help arriving without asking, messages of favor. Do not panic, receive them humbly. They are heaven's way of translating the spiritual into the tangible. But remember this warning in love: never worship the check. Worship the giver. The moment you cling to the gift more than the source, the flow slows. Keep your eyes on the one who wrote your name. The blessing was never meant to replace relationship, only to deepen it. Child, I can see a future scene, you standing stronger, brighter, surrounded by things you once prayed for. You smile, not because you own them, but because you finally understand they were never the goal. The goal was this moment of closeness. This awareness that you and heaven are one heartbeat apart. The Father leans down now and speaks softly, use what I gave you to heal others. That is the next phase of activation. Every miracle carries a mission. The check multiplies as you share it. Encourage someone, forgive someone, bless someone, and watch how quickly the flow increases. Generosity expands the account, selfishness freezes it. Now feel the air around you shift again. That tingling presence, that gentle heat, that peace that almost feels heavy, that is the confirmation. The transaction has reached its full cycle. The check is active, living, and reproducing itself in everything you touch. I, Michael, record this moment in Heaven's archive. It reads, deposit released, receiver awakened, flow eternal. That record will never be erased. When doubt tries to return, remember this line and speak it aloud. It will remind the universe of what is already settled. You may sense quiet now. Do not mistake silence for absence. Heaven often grows quiet after a miracle because the system is processing new blessings. Rest in that silence. Trust that the unseen is working faster than the seen. The Father smiles again. His voice echoes through light, tell them they will never run out. So I tell you now, you will never run out of mercy, never run out of hope, never run out of chances. The check is infinite because its source is eternal love. So walk forward, beloved. Keep your head high, your heart open, your words kind. You are now a carrier of divine wealth that cannot be measured. Wherever you go, heaven goes. Whatever you touch, grace touches. Whoever you meet, peace meets. You have become the evidence of a living God. Right, God, light my path, if you need His direction right now.